official announcement, viewers. Jagdeep Dhankhar has won the Vice President elections by landslide victory. Jagdeep Dhankhar is India's 14th Vice President. He has secured 528 votes. Margaret Alva, his opponent in the election, secured 182 votes. There were 710 votes that were found valid of the 725 that were cast in this election. 15 were deemed invalid. My colleague Rahul Srivastava, National Affairs Editor, is now joining me live on this. Rahul, predictably so, Jagdeep Dhankhar wins the election, is India's new Vice President, but a landslide victory there. 528 out of 710 valid votes.
Yes, Mr. Dhankhar has won. The victory was expected. I think the real story is the vote polled by Margaret Alva. By getting nearly 182 votes, what it actually means that Margaret Alva has received less than 20% votes. And that means if we see last time around, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu were victory was of a lesser margin. And in fact, what we can say is that Rajmohan Gandhi had polled nearly 32% votes. That means that the number of votes polled by the opposition candidate has slipped further. The indication with the BJP NDA votes are at 441. The BJP out of that has 394. 5 nominated MPs were supporting. Akali, BJD, YSR, BSP, TDP, Eknath Shinde group supported Mr. Dhankhar. But what it means that the opposition disarray and the divide in the opposition has yet been underlined and highlighted by the victory of Mr. Jagdeep Dhankhar.
Absolutely. And what does this mean for 2024? The opposition continues to want to forge some sort of a common alliance against the Bharatiya Janata Party and the NDA against them for the Lok Sabha elections of 2024. But every time some sort of a challenge, some challenge comes forth, they seem to completely fall apart. This time the TMC abstaining from the election, the BSP and the TDP choosing to support Jagdeep Dhankhar in the election.
If you follow me, what is happening to Indian politics is that there have been strong regimes and there have been alternatives after that. But the crisis, I think, today is that if you see 1977, post-emergency, Indira Gandhi made mistakes. After that, there were rallying figures. You see 1989 when VP Singh emerged as a rallying figure. In 77, you had Jayaprakash Narayan. There were not as many big players. There was no, Congress was the lone big party and rest were small players. There was a unifying factors in terms of leaders and people. I think that brought them together. But if you see the politics today, there is a huge absence of a unifier or a pivot around which the opposition can unite. The Congress perhaps is the only pan-Indian party which has the capability to become the pivot. But the Congress is so terribly diminished now that the Congress cannot act as a pivot. In fact, there are players who want to be the Congress of tomorrow in terms as a central figure as far as the opposition politics is concerned.